Richmond versus Chattanooga, Part 3, and for the first time this year from sunny David Stanton Field in Chattanooga, the Red Wolves are one of the hottest teams in USL League One. They try to keep a successful stretch going against the Richmond Kickers, a team that is falling on hard times, but they be right back in the thick of things with a win. Good evening, I'm Ryan Pierce. Thanks for joining us. The broadcast presented by Transcard Global FinTech platform Chattanooga. They're winners of 3 of their last 4. They haven't lost since May 18th. The Richmond Kickers are seeking their first win since May 11th after a great start to the season. These two teams very familiar with each other. They just played 2 weeks ago. It was Chattanooga coming up with the 2-0 victory. It was a close one almost the entire match. Neither team scored until the second half when Amirji Pineda broke the ice with his first goal of the season and the first goal of this match in the 63rd minute, just past the great keeper, Akira Fitzgerald with that left foot. That got things going for Chattanooga. There were some chances for Richmond, none better than this one. Juan Ignacio Mare getting his first start of the year. Beautiful header off the crossing pass, just missing that one off the crossbar. That would have been the first goal for Richmond, and that would have really changed the course of this match. But game of inches, that one did not go through. And then putting this one on ice was Cito Sione in the 90th minute. A crossing shot with the left foot, almost impossible angle, and he was able to sneak that one through past the great keeper in Fitzgerald. And Chattanooga got their first road win of the season. One team is trying to create momentum, the other is trying to keep it. It's the third match between what may be budding rivals Richmond and Chattanooga. Lineups, injury report, and the action is coming up next. The Chattanooga Red Wolves 5-4-3 taking on the Richmond Kickers 3-7-3. Big match appearance. We get closer to the midway point of the USL League One season. Let's have a look at the starting lineups as you see the procession there. First, we'll start with the home team, the Chattanooga Red Wolves. One change to note. There's a couple in there, but one we want to make a note of. Cito Sione getting that start there in the forward position after a couple of really good performances over the past few weeks as he takes the spot of Juan Ignacio Mare. You saw him on that highlight for Chattanooga, just barely missing a goal a couple weeks ago against Richmond. And of course, Mangles is back there in goal, Beatty their top scorer. On the other side, the Kickers, they're looking for their first goal since May. They've had a couple really good opportunities over the past few matches. They've been close. The coaching staff says they're right there. It's just about putting it through. Number 9, Jackson, is one of their better goal scorers. Daniel Jackson, watch out for him in the forward spot. And Joe Gallardo, he's playing a defensive position, or in that back spot at least, of the 4-4-2, but you'll see him go up there as a forward and maybe get a few opportunities as this match goes along. And of course, the starters tonight They are presented by Nourish Point, fueling the starting 11. Big matchup this evening. The third matchup between these two teams. Richmond in their beautiful home red uniforms, or rather Chattanooga in their beautiful home red uniforms. Richmond in the road whites. A matchup of two teams that are very familiar with each other. A couple injuries to note. Of course, the injury report presented by Tralia Health. Richard Dixon's been out for most of the year for Chattanooga. Thompson is out for Richmond today. That's one that is important to note. He's been playing some really good soccer over the past couple of weeks. He'll miss this game, and then we'll see going forward with a right foot injury. Chattanooga, they've been playing really good soccer. One of the hottest teams in USL League One over the past couple of weeks. They were the first team to score more than one goal this season against the Greenville Triumph last week. Stephen Beattie had that hat trick. 3 goals, one with the left foot, one with the right foot, one with the header to give Chattanooga the victory. Then Richmond, they've had a lot of really close matches over the past month and a half or so. They just haven't been able to pull one out. They're seeking their first win since May 11th. Let's see if they can get the job done today on the road in those white uniforms, taking on Chattanooga. The third time these two teams have played each other. The first 2 times were in Richmond, and the Kickers split that series 1-1. Chattanooga trying to defend their home where they've been so good this year, 4-2-0. Both these teams very patient squads. They're towards the bottom in shots taken, but a good shooting percentage though, good shots on goal percentage. They don't take a lot of shots, but they make them count when they do. One of the big keys to watch for this one, neither team has lost this year when they've scored the first goal. So the team that gets on top first could very well come out with the victory. Chattanooga could bump up to 3rd in the standings depending on what else happens if they pull up the victory. Richmond could move all the way up to 6th depending on what other teams do this weekend. So a lot is on the line tonight. And of course, Richmond is seeking revenge after losing 2 weeks ago to Chattanooga. An early foul is called. Great officiating crew. As it'll be a free kick coming up here for Richmond early. Nick Gronfate, the George Washington University graduates, the head referee. Zach McWhorter, Kyle Johnston, the assistant referees, and the 4th official, William Hale, for tonight's matchup. Opportunity early for Richmond to try to make something happen. Mutaya Mawape sends one towards the box, and it's played out by Mangles. What a great year. Maybe the keeper of the year in USL League One. Alexander Mangles, a 6'4", lengthy keeper from Lafayette, California. He's second in the league with 42 saves. It was the big point when these two teams met 2 weeks ago. It's kind of taken a back seat in the pinnacle storylines for tonight, but it's still important to note 2 of the best keepers in the league. Alexander Mangles for Chattanooga's really come on as one of the elite goalkeepers in USL League One. Did allow 2 goals last week. And then Akira Fitzgerald, the 5'11" Japanese-born keeper between the pipes for Richmond. He has had an absolutely spectacular year. Cooled off a bit recently, but he's tied for 2nd in saves and tied for 2nd in clean sheets. He made the USL League One Team of the Week in Week 11. Neither team last time these squads matched up really tested the opposing team's keeper early. Much of the action happened in the second half. Both these groups, you would say, are a little bit better defensively than offensively. However, Chattanooga has really been scoring well recently. They scored 3 goals last week against Greenville, a team that hadn't allowed more than 1 goal the entire season. Kind of a fun note to make as we stick with the Stephen Beattie notes. Wearing number 10 tonight for Chattanooga, coming off that hat trick. He scored 3 goals last week against Greenville. The Triumph have only allowed 10 goals the entire season, so 30% of their goals allowed have come off the foot. Actually, 1 foot with a left foot, 1 right foot, and 1 header goal from Stephen Beattie. Both these teams feel each other out early on this slightly overcast night, but really good soccer temperature in the 80s from Chattanooga. Solid crowd here in attendance as we work our way towards the midpoint of the USL League One season. Big matchup as Chattanooga has been skyrocketing up the standings. They're currently in 5th place, really actually tied for 4th with Toronto FC 2 with 18 points. Richmond is stuck on 12th there at the bottom, but a win today gets them potentially up to 6th. So a lot can happen for the Kickers. A veteran-loaded team, great coaching staff, and a group that is poised to make a run soon. Akira Fitzgerald, he's played every minute this season. Played with the Tampa Bay Rowdies last year. Has that nice 66.7 save percentage. As the ball finds Alexander Mangles, his opponent tonight, Mangles just as good. Second in the league in saves, 42 behind Fitzgerald, and he's got 4 clean sheets as well. Chattanooga trying to make their first push today. At midfield, Beatty. Ball ricochets towards Walefi, getting the start. And it's turned around by Richmond as they come on the counterattack. And it's played away by Chattanooga. Now the official blows it dead. Nikrad Fateh gives a kick here for Chattanooga. Tony Walls, 29-year-old from Milwaukee, plays it back to that back line, and Yaya Sisi, the young player out of Ivory Coast, getting his 4th straight start. Sisi, now Andrew Moulin from Minnesota. Moulin missed a few games with an injury. He's been a big addition, though, now that he's been healthy for Chattanooga. As they've got Moulin back, Jonathan Caparelli also in that back line. The team is 2-0 since he returned from an injury, so Chattanooga starting to get healthy. Coach Hakinson, been around soccer for a long time. He talked about how they're getting healthy, they're starting to find some continuity, and they're starting to play really good soccer. Elijah Lockby. Nice little give and go. Into the box. A chance for Retzlaff. They're trying to find Gallardo at the top, and it was turned away by Chattanooga. One thing Chattanooga did really well last time these two teams matched up, and they kept the ball out of the middle of the field in that attacking spot for Richmond. That's where Joe Gallardo, their leading goal scorer, is at his best. In the box on the far side, Cito Sione, who had that goal last time, across and through. Is there a call? It doesn't look like it. That is Stephen Beatty, his 4th goal in the past 2 contests, getting things started for Chattanooga.
Goal number 10.
How about that, Stephen Beatty? He has 7 goals this year, 1 off the league. He is skyrocketing towards the top in that Golden Boot race. I think Akira Fitzgerald was looking for maybe an offsides call. How about that set? Pineda into the box. Beautiful reversage of field. And then Cito Sione getting the start. The left foot. And then Beatty put it through. Fitzgerald was pointing to his wrist. Maybe thought there could have been some sort of a handball call. No whistle, and Stephen Beatty has goal number 7. He has been on fire. The captain for Chattanooga puts his team on top. Now let's see if Richmond can counter here. A big early blow from the Red Wolves. They're undefeated this year when they score first. Over the top, down the sideline. Racing after it is Retzlaff. It'll go out of play. So Stephen Beatty had a hat trick against Greenville. It was the first hat trick in program history. Coach Tim Hagenson said he just does everything for this team, a top all-around player. And now, less than 10 minutes into this matchup, he's already got a goal. 7 this year. He had a quiet match when Richmond and Chattanooga played the first time. It was about the role players, Cito Sione, who you saw get the assist there. And then Mirjay Pineda also had a goal, as there was some contact towards the sideline. And it looks like it's Tony Walls who may have took a nick to the face. Let's see here. Yeah, both players playing aggressive, going for the ball. And they'll get Elijah Lockby. Walls is asking why that wasn't maybe a bigger penalty, more maybe a yellow card on Lockby. It looked like it was incidental. Now Connor Doyle starts things off for Chattanooga. About 7.5 minutes into it. In the 8th minute, Stephen Beatty scores goal number 7 of the year, and he puts Chattanooga on top 1-0. He was just able to get a foot on it on a crossing pass from Cito Sione. Chattanooga, after getting off to a really slow start on offense this year, they scored 7 goals in their past 3 contests entering this game. Now 8 in their past 4. We're just starting this one. They're averaging 2 goals at home this year. A physical, maybe slightly chippy matchup first. Remember, these two teams have played each other 3 times. There's going to be maybe a little more emotions as Charles Botang getting the start today. Got locked up with Beatty. Both of them pat each other on the shoulder. And Tony Walls will get hit with the yellow card. So a yellow card on Walls, something certainly to watch here. Walls, such a valuable defensive player for Chattanooga. Let's see what happened. Made contact near the sideline and got hit with the yellow card. So early storyline to keep in mind. Tony Walls picks up the yellow. With a good 80 minutes left to go in this match, you'll have to play conservative. Wonder if that changes things for Coach Hankinson, if he will keep Walls out there the entire time, or maybe if things get a little more physical, try to pull him out. Chattanooga is a very aggressive team. They're second in the league in yellow cards. And the physicality has certainly played to their advantage over the past few weeks. They've been able to wear groups down and score in the second half. They got a couple last week against Greenville, and both their goals in the second half, or came in the second half against Richmond a few weeks ago. Some contact at midfield. Mirjay Pineda, who opened things up with a goal last time these two teams met, whistled for the foul. Ivan McGauley's getting the start. Only his 5th this year. Both these teams getting some younger players in the lineup today. Good little chip shot towards the box, over the top. Botang trying to pull it down. Now Lockby. Touch towards the middle of the field. Joe Gallardo. They're trying to get him going, number 10. Just saw him with the ball, their leading goal scorer. Chattanooga's back line so tough. An early goal from Stephen Beatty. His 7th this year has the Red Wolves up 1-0. There's Beatty with it. A 30-year-old captain from Dublin, Ireland. Did a great interview, and I'm forgetting the publication in Chattanooga. It was a wonderful piece with Beatty. He was talking about his video game character and how he was very impressed of how much it looked like him on FIFA. And then he brought up how just astonished he was with himself last week that he was able to pull off the left foot, right foot header hat trick. Got a lot of good personality. to Stephen Beatty. Already a lot of action, a goal, some physical play. That's what we're looking for. These two teams have played each other now. This is their third time. They're familiar with each other. It's like when you have a sibling and you're young, you spend a lot of time with them. Naturally, there's going to be some pushing and shoving. Same thing goes with sports. When you see a team a couple times, things get a little more physical. Nice through ball. Here's Walls playing with that yellow card. Those bright green shoes, sends it back out to Pineda. Both these teams play a 4-4-2. They like to move around their top goal scorer, Stephen Beatty. Last week he started in the back and then moved up kind of to the midpoint of that 4-4-2 in the triangle part of the field. And then the leading goal scorer for Richmond, Joe Gallardo, started this side, even though he's listed as a forward. He started this match in the backfield. But expect to see him move up more to a goal-scoring spot as this goes along. And a foul is called on Chattanooga. Richmond still looking for their first goal since May. They've had a lot of really good opportunities. You talked to Coach David Bulow, who joined this team almost a year ago exactly today, June 27, 2018. Became the 7th head coach in this great Richmond program. He mentions how many positive attitudes this team has, how hard they work in practice, how close they've been in many of these contests they've lost. It's been a matter of 1 or 2 bounces not going their way. Last week it was a late goal score that did them in. It was 2 in the second half the week before that from Chattanooga. Jonathan Caparelli getting the start today, his 3rd straight. Start of the year with an injury for Chattanooga. With it now on the far side, the team is now 2-0 when he starts, trying to go 3-0. He's been such a big difference for this group. I should say 2-0 when he starts, coming off the injury. Usually very steady. In his year and a half in professional soccer, he's only missed 1 match. And contact at midfield, and a free kick coming up here for Chattanooga. And that's a yellow on Mwape, Utaya Mwape, who had a great performance last time these two teams met. Picks up the early yellow card. And Coach Hankinson for Chattanooga. But I asked him this week, who's the player that you want to focus on for Richmond? He said it was Mwape. That was actually, I'll take that back, Alexander Ainscough, who made the contact, so not Mwape. Alexander Ainscough only making his 2nd start this year. Picking up the yellow card. So Ainscough picks up the yellow card. Canton, Massachusetts, 2nd start. One of the better rookies, or at least first-time professionals in League One this year. Young player. Richmond thinks he's got a lot of potential. Here's Molefi. Rolls one just wide right as Fitzgerald watches it go out of play. Real quick, going back on that thought of Mwape, talking to Coach Hankinson for Chattanooga. Mwape was the player, number 80 for Richmond, who had the ball in his foot a good chunk of the match last time these two teams met. Very aggressive. And Coach Hankinson said, oh, we have to game plan for him better. He did a great job penetrating on us, beat our defenders on multiple occasions. Waiting for it midfield is Moulin. Pineda battles with Gallardo. A tussle on the sideline. Walls are playing with that yellow card. He gets bumped by Daniel Jackson. Jackson showing great sportsmanship. Both these teams, a lot of respect for each other. And they play hard, but they play with great sportsmanship. We saw that a couple weeks ago. Even when there's contact, they'll help each other up off the turf. And another whistle as a Richmond player went down. The kickers, I know Richmond fans have heard about this. The kickers this month, as we go to that replay, Wape went down. Going for the ball, it looks like he may have banged his face off of Jonathan Caparelli. As he's taken to by the trainer. The kickers this month donating money each time they score a goal to the nonprofit Diversity Richmond. It's a nonprofit lending a hand to the local LGBTQ community in Richmond. The kickers held Pride Night earlier this month with an auction that benefited Health Brigade, a charitable clinic in Richmond that helps the marginalized community. And kudos to them for that awesome work. Every goal scored this month from Richmond, the team and their partners donate money to Diversity Richmond. So if you're a Kickers fan, just another reason to root for them. And even if you're a Chattanooga fan, maybe a little silver lining if Richmond does indeed score a goal tonight, that they put money to a really, really impressive cause as they've taken up the banner for the LGBTQ community this month, this being Pride Month, June. So Mawape in front of Coach Bulow. David Bulow making his second season. In his second season with the Kickers, he took over about a year ago, June 27, 2018. So he's at his 1-year anniversary. Some holding there, maybe 15 yards outside the box. Coach Bulow, former Kickers player, something he's very proud of, to be a part of this great franchise as a player and then to be the program's 7th ever coach as well. Chattanooga trying to strike again. Amirji Pineda, one of their top passers, 2 assists this year. Eyes the field, a 92.5 passer rating against Greenville SC. That got him on the League One player of the, or League One team of the week. That one's going to lead to a corner kick. Pineda 2 straight times on the League One team of the week with the left foot there, trying to bend it towards the box, a little bit short. May have been looking for Stephen Beattie. It works out though. Now Pineda will kick from the corner. Up in the air. Played out by Ainscough. He was the first one to get ahead on it. And now here comes Richmond on the counter. Boateng. Bengales. Boateng maybe tripped up a bit as it rolls out of play. Got his feet tangled up with the defender. Walls to Beattie, trying to show off the fancy footwork. Couldn't get past the defense, and now Lockby will kick in. Vocal crowd here tonight. Chattanooga Red Wolves fans watching a really hot team at David Stanton Field. They've won 4 of their last 5. They haven't lost in quite some time. 5-4-3, tied for 4th place. Good feed for Richmond in the box. It's Jackson Pass played out by Chattanooga. Red Wolves fans. Been fun watching the crowds grow for USL League One. Always means something more when you got the jersey or the shirt on representing your local team. Yeah, the MLS teams, they love your support. And of course, everybody needs it, but it means a little more when you're a diehard fan of a team in League One, their first year, getting off the ground, growing, expanding. You're more of the family, I would say, than you are when you're maybe a fan of a professional NFL or NBA or MLS team. More intimate, I guess you could say. Richmond trying to get something going. Nicholas Amponsa took it away, getting the rare start for Chattanooga. Just his 5th this season. Here's Walls. Over the top. Past everybody. Stephen Beatty scored 7 minutes into this one. His 7th goal to put Chattanooga up 1-0. The Red Wolves, they've been on fire. They could go up to 3rd place with a win. A victory for Richmond bumps them up to 6th. In this battle of 2 of the top goalkeepers, Alexander Mangles and Akira Fitzgerald. Mangles, known for being aggressive, comes out and plays that one. Possession-wise, it's been about 50-50. Nice through pass. Potentially an opportunity here for Richmond. As Gallardo couldn't quite pull it in. Beatty battles with Lockaby. Good matchup to watch. Lockaby, a standout player at VCU before turning pro. Good defensive player, number 17 for Richmond. Chattanooga averaging 2 goals per game at home. They're fantastic here in Tennessee. Richmond, a rare first half goal. Most of the damage done to them has been in the second half. Defense has been their strong suit. Chattanooga 1, Richmond 0. The Red Wolves are undefeated when they score first. Both these teams are. Big point would be who would score first. Right now it's the Red Wolves on top. Pass towards the sideline goes out of play. As Richmond, it appears right now they're trying to work the ball to the corner, see if they can get an angle for a good crossing pass, maybe to Gallardo at the middle of the field where he's so effective. Jonathan Caparelli and company been so tough defensively. Select is the official ball supplier of USL League One in many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been a leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Mawape bumps CC from behind. He's whistled for the infraction. A yellow card for both teams. Tony Walls picked one up earlier for Chattanooga. Shortly after that, Alexander Ainscough got one for Richmond. Mawape, not yellow card worthy, just a foul there. And now getting tangled up is Boateng on Walls. Walls is looking for a yellow as Boateng wrapped him up. Again, just good physical play, and the official gives a talking to Boateng. Mullen, and then there's Beatty. Always fun to watch a captain work with the official, work with the younger players. If you can see him there, just kind of buzz off Mullen and say, go ahead and get back into your position. I got this one, youngster. Stephen Beatty, the 30-year-old captain from Dublin. Here's Pineda. The left-footed kick up in the air, off the post. Still in a dangerous spot. The kick across and through everybody. An opportunity for Chattanooga. And it's going to lead to a corner kick. That one nearly put the Red Wolves up 2-0. A good hand from the fans. Pineda, such a dangerous ball up in the air. It looked like that was Beatty again, going for the header, his second goal this half. Inches away. Chattanooga still a chance though. They've been knocking on the door of the goal a couple times. Let's see if they can put one through. That one's over the top. A bit long from Pineda. Richmond trying to pull it down, and they finally do. Kickers dodge a bullet. Let's see if they can get a little more pep in their step after that. They've been moving well. Here's Mwape. You can tell every time the ball's on his foot, the defense is taking notice. Coach Hakinson and company. What a career he's had. His first year, of course, with Chattanooga, new team, but he's been around soccer for a long time. Wonderful to talk to. He's really got his team playing well, but he had high praise from Mwape. And we're seeing it every time number 80, Utaya Mwape for Richmond, has the ball. There's two players on him. Great job by our crew there. On the money with a nice shot of Coach Hakinson as we got a foul. Very physical first half. Third time these two teams have played each other this year. Very familiar with the opposing roster, the opposing players. A lot of bumping and nudging. I won't say pushing and shoving, though. It's been, there haven't been really any cheap shots. It's just been a physical match so far. Chattanooga got on top early. Stephen Beatty with goal number 7. He's one off the league lead now in that race for the Golden Boot. Just missed one moments ago off the corner kick from Mircea Pineda. A header that went off the left post. Chattanooga has controlled it. Looking for a foul there, no call. That was dangerously close to the box, but it appeared to be a good no call. Contact at midfield, and this one will draw the whistle as Alexander Ainskoff locked legs with Cece. Ainskoff, the young forward, young midfielder, pleading his case as Cece pries himself up off the turf. So here's the first play, maybe a couple yards outside the box. It looked like both were going for the ball, though. And then some contact at midfield, just an inadvertent trip from Ainskoff. Beatty giving chase. Maxi Rodriguez, first time calling his name, the midfielder for Richmond. Sent to the sideline. Ainskoff drills it off the leg of the defender, now throwing in. Richmond looking for their first win since May 11th. Chattanooga seeks their third straight victory. Both these teams with League One still very tight in the standings, both only separated by 6 points in the standings. A win for Richmond gets them all the way back up to 6th. They're tied for 9th out of 10 teams now. But a win bumps them potentially all the way up to 6th. A win for Chattanooga, they can get all the way up to 3rd here tonight. And move past Toronto FC, depending on what other teams do, of course. So a lot on the line for Richmond right now. If they can just get a goal, that would be a huge confidence boost. Here's a chance. Just a bit high from that right side. You like that aggressive play, though, from Richmond. Right now, they just need shots. They need balls near the goal. Gallardo setting up his teammate well, making sure they're on sides. I believe that was Ainscough getting a look at it. Mangles a kick. Hasn't been tested as much as he was in the first half of the Chattanooga-Richmond matchup 2 weeks ago. Early goal by Stephen Beatty for Chattanooga. Passing him up 1-0. Off a beautiful pass from Cito Sione. It was the second assist this year for Sione. So Sione has been a thorn in the side of Richmond this year. He had his first goal of the season against Richmond last time, then a big assist to Beatty to put his team up in this matchup. About 10 minutes to the half. Tony Walls, playing with a yellow card, will throw in. Gallardo. And Chattanooga will clear. 50-50 ball. Beatty. Nice through ball up the field, but a little bit off sides was Sione. Beatty trying to return the favor to Cito. Now here's Lockby. Kickers trying to get some momentum before halftime. They just had a shot moments ago. See if they can maybe get 1 or 2 on goal and see what happens here in these final 10 minutes. Nice touch from Gallardo. Here's an opportunity. Little feed towards the side. Trying to cross. Now it'll be a throw-in for Richmond. Alexander Ainscough, he's looked good in this first half, did pick up a yellow card, but he's been in the middle of things offensively, getting the opportunity as a starter today. Again, cleared out, and Richmond will throw in. Retzlaff. That back line so tough to get past from Chattanooga. That Mangles an elite keeper, even if you do that. Chance, Richmond, Mangles comes up and plays it. I still like that, though, from the kickers. They're playing more aggressive. A couple opportunities here over the past few minutes. They are rapping on the door of their first goal in quite some time. Let's see if somebody will answer. Opportunity here with the free kick. Kickers trying to return the favor after losing 2-0 on their home field to Chattanooga. They're trying to pull the win on the road here in Tennessee. A win gets them right back in the middle of the standings in the USL League One. Kick, a little bit long. Still in play, though. Lockaby Gallardo trying to bend it right post, just a bit wide. Joe Gallardo looking for his second goal this year against Chattanooga. It appeared that was actually a pass, and not a bad one towards that far post, as he may have been looking for his teammate blitzing towards the post. Mangles to kick. He had a pair of clean sheets in May. He's named Keeper of the Month for USL League One in May. And he's followed it up with an absolutely spectacular June. Right now, if you had to pick for goalkeeper of the year, he's probably the one you go with. Alexander Mangles for Chattanooga. His counterpart, Akira Fitzgerald, pretty impressive as well, though. Getting close to halftime. 1-0 Chattanooga on top, behind the 7th goal of the season, the 4th in the past 3 halves for Stephen Beattie. He's the hottest player right now in USL League One. The 30-year-old from Dublin, Ireland, team captain, has propelled Chattanooga to the top of USL League One standings, a chance to move up to 3rd, depending on what happens this weekend. The Red Wolves were in control of this match, I would say, for the first 30 minutes. Richmond has found their footing, though. They've had a couple opportunities recently. They're trying to break through here with a goal. Kicker can move up to 6th in the standings, depending on the rest of the league. Fans follow Chattanooga and the rest of the USL League One all season long on ESPN Plus, home to the USL, MLS, UFC, the US Open Cup, and more. Join the over 2 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN Plus and watch League One live every week. Sign up today at espnplus.com. Appreciate everybody watching however you are tonight. 2 teams, their 3rd matchup against each other this year. Budding League One rivals. Jackson. Nobody home on that left side. Beattie with space. Crosses the field to his teammate, Sione. And that's played easily by Fitzgerald. And Cito Sione. Stephen Beattie. Combination's a tough one. 2 very different players. Sione finesse, Beattie more physical. One from Miami, one from Ireland. Very different backgrounds as well. Crossing pass, here's a chance for Richmond. And it's played out by Tony Walls. Oh, that was an opportunity for the kickers. Gallardo knows it. A wonderful cross pass from Awape as he beat Caparelli. It's exactly what you want, and right there is Gallardo, just couldn't get the left foot on it, and then Walls played it away. So 3 chances for Richmond, a good sign for the road team. Now Rodriguez to kick it in. Joe Gallardo just missed goal number 5 this year. The cross. Drilled up high. Lockaby. Now play stops. Nick Rodfate. As you see Coach Hankinson having a word with the assistant referee. Chattanooga leading 1-0. Stephen Beattie scored within the first 10 minutes of this match. An early goal put his team up early. As Doyle catching his breath, Connor Doyle for Chattanooga. Red Wolves winners of 4 of their last 5. They've had a very impressive month of June, trying to keep things going. Doyle gives a smile. He seems to be okay. It'll be a free kick here for Chattanooga. They kindly give it back. Good sportsmanship there, of course, after play was stopped for Doyle. They give it back to Richmond. We'll see what we get for bonus time. I wouldn't expect much, though. Nice crossing play. Looking for Gallardo. Mawape again trying to find the team's leading goal scorer. Unofficially, you can expect 3 minutes. We'll find out in just a couple seconds. Yep, there it is, 3 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen,
see what Richmond can do here with bonus time. An impressive last 15 minutes for the Kickers. They've been oh so close to breaking through. Some contact. This is going to be a free kick for Richmond in a really good spot. Been a very physical first half as Joe Gallardo went down. And a yellow card is given to Yaya Cece. That's the second card this half for Chattanooga. Walls picked up one earlier.
That yellow card issued to number 15, Yaya Cece.
Cece battling for the ball. Extended the left arm, and that's probably why he got nicked for the yellow. Cece, young 21-year-old from the Ivory Coast. His 4th start in a row. As he chats with the official Nick Rodfate. Here's Gallardo. 4 goals this year to lead the team. The San Diego native, young talented player. He scored against Chattanooga, the only goal for either team in that matchup earlier this year. Gallardo into the box, up in the air, and kicked out by Chattanooga. Richmond with it still. Caparelli lets it roll out. And a goal kick coming up. Mangles versus Fitzgerald, part 3. Akira Fitzgerald, the clean sheet the first time these two teams met, and that man, Alexander Mangles, picked up the clean sheet last time these two teams locked horns. Rodriguez, not a bad through ball. Mangles from his post scoops it up. Good interception. Lockaby, he's got a little space here. Lockaby, a chance towards the box. Just past Gallardo, and Mangles plays it. That was a sneaky opportunity for Richmond. Trying to catch Chattanooga off guard, maybe thinking about halftime. And speaking of halftime, the official blows it dead, and we have reached the midway point. An early goal from Stephen Beatty, the captain, his 7th this year, as Chattanooga on top. Richmond played strong over the past 15 minutes. Can they ride that momentum into the second half? We'll see. We'll take a break and come back. USL League One Soccer. Richmond and Chattanooga, the Red Wolves on top, 1-0 at the break. Welcome back to Halftime, presented by Transcar Global FinTech Platform between Chattanooga and Richmond. Coming up, we'll take a look back at Louisville City's matchup with FC Cincinnati in the U.S. Open Cup, as well as peek at the USL Championship's newest franchise in San Diego. But first, we focus on the second MLS signing from a USL League One side. We put the spotlight last week on Ricardo Pepi and his signing with FC Dallas of the MLS. One day after Pepi inked his homegrown deal, Toronto FC signed forward Jacob Schaffelberg, also to a homegrown contract. As fate would have it, Schaffelberg and Pepi both came off the bench as Toronto traveled to FC Dallas last Saturday night in their MLS debuts. After the game, Toronto FC was kind enough to send us Schaffelberg's post-game comments following his first appearance. Here's what he had to say in the locker room after the match.
To get out there for my first time and get my feet wet was a great feeling.
How did that live up to maybe your expectations of building up in your head, getting out there for the first time?
Certainly leading up to it, I was super nervous from the moment I got the call to come on the trip. But once I got on the field and I got my first touch on the ball, it all went away and it just felt like another game. So, going back about 8 months, I'm still playing at Berkshire School in a high school league. So, to make the jump to TFC second team and now to the first team, it's just been unthinkable. So it's been a dream. I've learned a lot so far from being here. It's been great so far.
And what do you do now? Is you're in the middle of a pretty busy stretch. You have to go home now midweek and play Atlanta. How do you bounce back and look to turn things around?
I'm used to playing multiple games in a week from the USL. We've been having quite a few Wednesday, Saturday games. So, I think that as a team, we're going to have to reset and go into the Atlanta game with a new mindset and then just refresh. I think so. I looked at my phone just for a second. I know my mom texted me, and the first sign was just she had tears when she first saw me come on. So that's special, and just having my brother and then my sister and just like all my family members texting me, and then just seeing how proud they are it's amazing. It's a great feeling.
You gonna try to get into Toronto?
I hope so. I hope my parents may come up for the Atlanta game. That'd be super nice. Yeah.
Schaffelberg saw time with Toronto FC in CONCACAF Champions League action back in the winter and scored twice for TFC2 in 12 USL League One appearances. At the time of his signings to the MLS side, he led the League One squad with 3 assists and 7 shots on target. His 2 goals either tied the match or gave TFC2 the lead. This Wednesday night, he got his first start for Toronto FC and made an immediate impact, registering an assist in a 3-2 win over Atlanta. Here are the highlights from the game.
Play back now Pozuelo, and he'll get that overlapping run for Schaffelberg. Little get, little go, get it back in front. Quick start! That's what they need, TFC. Working his 7th game of the season. Midfield. Frazier, Schaffelberg.
For almost 2 decades, San Diego has been waiting for a professional soccer club it can call its own. Now led by leading soccer executive and co-founder of Sacramento Republic FC, Warren Smith, and legendary United States men's national team player Landon Donovan, its club has arrived. The USL Championship is coming to the University of San Diego's Torero Stadium, bringing all the excitement of the fastest growing league in North America to one of the top soccer markets in the United States.
All right, gentlemen. I don't think we need to kind of review what this game means, but it is a really important opportunity for us. I think it's an important opportunity for you guys in a lot of ways. Goal is to advance in the U.S. Open Cup by beating Cincinnati. It is that simple. Any questions? Let's go, gentlemen. Let's go. It's more than just the 2 clubs. There's a bit of an angst between the cities, quite frankly. You can feel it.
there's just so much on the line. We're in the third year now of seeing FC Cincinnati with, you know, a lot of big moments that have happened and history built up.
Last year we came here twice and we won both games. Dealing with the crowd, the pressure, I think is one advantage that we'll have as we've dealt with it.
Fourth round of the 2019 Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup, the site of the renewal of one of the great budding rivalries in U.S. soccer, FC Cincinnati. Now the big dog from Major League Soccer hosting Louisville City FC, a rainy Nippert Stadium, the perfect place, Lorena, to renew the River City rivalry. Now gets the time, Sam Warner, the beauty. Jamal Johnson, he only knows bangers.
Look at Taylor moving up.
And Taylor with a beautiful strike. Are you kidding? Johnson from distance.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
A great save from C.J. Cochran.
Very exciting. The first pair of MLS signings. We've talked about it. FC Dallas and Toronto FC signed first League One players to the MLS homegrown contracts. And then also the league continues to grow. A record crowd in Madison. 4,821 fans were in attendance on Tuesday when they hosted Minnesota United of the MLS. Very exciting. And we talked about him, Steve Beattie, the player of the week last week, a hat trick and a 3-2 win for Chattanooga. He scored a goal with the left foot, the right foot, and with his head. That's really, really tough to do and very rare to see. The team of the week in USL League One. So exciting to see a variety of teams here. Steve Beattie was the player of the week with those 3 goals, but you look around League One, Pineda for Chattanooga also on there as well. Just a really good group of players in this continuously growing League One and very impressive first season. The race for the Golden Boot right now, North Texas SC. They're the top team in USL League One. They've got the top goal scorer in Ronaldo Damas. In 10 games, he's got 8 goals, nearly a goal per game, an incredible rate. And of course, there's Stephen Beattie, the captain for the Red Wolves. 6 goals in 12 games, had 3 last week. He's been on fire. We'll see if he can keep up anywhere near that pace going forward. Let's have a look at some upcoming schedules. First, next week's game for Chattanooga. This is going to be a big one. Lansing Ignite, they are 3rd in USL League One. Chattanooga right behind them. They take on Lansing. That will be a good one, and their upcoming schedule features a home game against Lansing, then on the road for a couple. Those will be challenging: Orlando City and Forward Madison, and then back home against FC Tucson and again against Lansing Ignite FC. 2 times they play a team just in front of them in the standings. And then for Richmond, finally they get back to City Stadium, that historic City Stadium, to take on North Texas SC. How about that? You return home and you face the #1 team in the league, and then another home game right after that as well against Orlando City B before going on the road for a couple. Looking at the upcoming schedule for this week, there's some fun ones. Really want to highlight that North Texas versus Greenville Triumph matchup. You're talking about the best offensive team in the league against North Texas, against an incredible defensive team in the Greenville Triumph. Of course, Chattanooga takes on Lansing. We've talked about that. 2 teams next to each other in the standings. FC Tucson, Toronto FC, going to be a lot of fun. And Tormenta FC against Forward Madison FC. That will also be a great matchup as well. When we come back, we have highlights from that first half. Welcome back to the halftime show presented by Transcard Global FinTech Platform. Chattanooga 1, Richmond 0. Let's go ahead and look at the highlights from that first half. Chattanooga leading 1-0. They're undefeated this season when they score the first goal. As a reminder, this is a matchup between two teams that have played each other 3 times now this season. Here's how it got started. Sione getting the ball in the corner, going across, and Stephen Beatty, his 7th goal this season. Fitzgerald was hoping for a handball. Looking out on the replay, though, it looked like it was clean for Stephen Beatty. Number 7 for him this year. He's bumped. Chattanooga is on top 1-0. They really controlled, I would say, the first 30 minutes of this match. A couple opportunities played well by the defensive back line for Richmond. They kept this one at a 1-0 game. Again, this time it's Amirje Pineda going across the field to Beatty. He had one go off the post. A couple opportunities there for the Red Wolves. They just couldn't quite put it through. A beautiful cross-field pass to Beatty as he just couldn't find the back of the net. And then on the other end, Richmond had some chances towards the end of that first half, picked up some momentum. Here's one that went wide for the young Alexander Ainskoff getting the start. Not a bad strike there, just a little bit hot on it. They would get a few more opportunities, though. And this is a Richmond team that really is looking for that first goal they've had in some time. That was an opportunity from Gallardo, just missed it off the left foot. How about this pass from Mwape, finding Gallardo cutting towards the goal. Just a little bit long on him. A chance, though, for Richmond in this second half to really make some noise. They have some momentum. Let's see what they can do. They're being outshot 5-2. They're still looking for that first shot on target, but they've had the ball 55% of the time, and towards the end of that first half, they had some really good opportunities. A physical first half, 2 yellow cards for the Red Wolves, and then 1 for Richmond. Their one yellow card is on Alexander Ainskoff, and then Tony Walls has a yellow card. And that's something to keep in mind, as does Yaya Sisi. So a couple big-name players for both these teams picking up yellow cards in that first half. Richmond and Chattanooga, 2 teams looking to bump up their way in the standings. Chattanooga's been on fire recently. A win can get them all the way up into 3rd, depending on what Lansing Ignite does this weekend. They face Lansing next week, and Toronto FC tied with them in that 4th spot. Then Richmond, they're tied for 9th, but a win gets them up to 15 points. Depending on what a couple teams do, that could put them in a tie for 6th place. So a lot can happen in this second half. Chattanooga was outplayed over the final 15 minutes. They got that first goal early in the match from Stephen Beatty, his 7th this year. And now Richmond will take their first crack at it. It looks like Braden Troyer is in to start this second half. He wears number 31. Troyer, the athletic, lengthy player, returning from knee surgery this season. He's playing in game number 6. He wears number 31. We'll throw it in. Coach Boulon trying a couple different things with his lineup this week. Mixing and matching. We haven't seen Dennis Chin yet, one of their top goal scorers. And Troyer was in for Alexander Ainskoff. Ainskoff picked up that yellow card in the first half, potentially why Coach Boulon took him out, but played very well. He had a shot towards the goal, was aggressive offensively, so a good half for the young Alexander Ainskoff. Richmond, 6 of their last 8 matches have been on the road. Their next 2 are at City Stadium. They have North Texas, the top team in the league, next week. Had a good end to that half. Mwape played a really strong half. Gets whistled for the foul there. They are 1-5-1 on the road this season, is Richmond. Now Chattanooga, undefeated when they score first, trying to keep that alive. They're looking for clean sheet number 6. Very patient team. 4th in the league in goals scored. They're 10th in shots attempted, so they make them count when they take them. Richmond has really controlled the possession over the past 15-20 minutes. Gallardo tripped up. And he'll stay here with Richmond. Troyer to give way to his teammate Rodriguez for the free kick. And he calls on, I think that's Gallardo, to come up and take it. He does. A early goal from Stephen Beattie. Chattanooga on top. Trying to stay hot this year. The Red Wolves have jumped up in the standings. Tied for 4th place. They're moving up with a bullet here. Here's a chance for Richmond. Their strategy has been get it down towards the corner and try to go for the crossing pass. With about 5 minutes left to go in that first half, they had an opportunity to Joe Gallardo, who will handle the corner kick here. Gallardo had a nice crossing pass from Mwape. It just went past his left foot. You know he wants another one of those here in the second half. Their leading goal scorer. Gallardo, high towards the right post. And played back nicely by Moulin. This time it'll be Mwape and his 1 assist to kick the corner. Clouds over David Stanton Field. Nice warm late June day. Chattanooga 18 points. Richmond with 12. Third time these teams have met this year. A lot of respect for each other. A physical first half, but good sportsmanship as well. Mwape with Gallardo to his left. And now some bumping and shoving. Yes, as I say, good sportsmanship. You know, these teams, they do it out of love and respect, of course, these USL League One teams. When there's 10 teams in the league, you get very familiar with each other. And I guess the comparison we made in the first half, it's like young siblings. When they're around each other 24/7, there's going to be a little bit of maybe kind animosity is a term you could use. Playful pushing and shoving. This one is up in the air. An opportunity goes by the wayside for Richmond. And Ulefi will throw in. The Kickers have had their best chances off the corner kicks. They've already had 2 in this second half. Wall's looking for a teammate. He may have taken too much time. Chattanooga's up over 500 as the captain, Stephen Beattie, talks to the sideline referee. Kudos to Nikrad Fateh, the head official. He has had his hands full today with the aggressive play of both these teams. Important matchup. The rubber match so far, as they're even at 1 apiece, 1 win apiece against each other this season. Caparelli showing off the fancy footwork, and it's blown dead. And a yellow card has been pulled out, and this one will go against Braden Troyer. Braden Troyer has been in for 7 minutes, and he picks up the yellow.
Number 31 for the Richmond Kickers, Braden Troyer.
As he made some contact, is playing aggressive against CC, who also has a yellow card. And CC chatting with the referee, Nick Rodfite, as well as Troyer. Troyer has a size advantage, a muscular 5'11", from Columbia, South Carolina. Now Caparelli to kick. And it looks like Wahebe Ekwe was hit with a yellow as well. So Ekwe picks up a yellow. I believe Troyer still got a yellow card. I heard the PA announcer mention his name, so it looks like 2 yellows on Richmond right there. They've got 3. Chattanooga has 2 today. And there's some contact. And that could be a free kick for Richmond. Yep, it looks like it will be. As Fitzgerald plays it out. Chattanooga has had 5 players combined over the past 2 weeks make the USL League One Team of the Week. They've been playing such great soccer. Richmond has got the momentum on their side in this match, though. They seek their first win since May 11th. They're looking for their first goal since May 22nd. They've had opportunities today. Here's one right here. Troyer. Talking to Coach David Bulow, he says, you know, the team has been right there in a lot of these matches, and you look at their results, and that is definitely the case. They allowed a late goal last week that cost them against Tormenta, then 2 weeks ago, 2 second-half goals against Chattanooga. As Maxi Rodriguez now talking to Nick Rodfite. Young referee. Good soccer career, played for George Washington University. Now he is on the officiating side. Good little spin move. Here's a chance for Caparelli. Midfield in space. CC. CC the boot. Over the top. As Fitzgerald watches it sail. CC taking out some frustration on that strong kick. He had space. Not a bad option. It was Pineda working it away. Nice little tap from Walife. And then the big kick from CC just a bit high. One at midfield for Chattanooga. And the goal can make things really tough for Richmond to come back. Red Wolves going for the knockout blow. Some contact. Coach Hankinson right behind the play. And a yellow card has been issued. That's on Charles Boateng. That's a 3rd for Richmond in this half. Boateng is first today. Charles Boateng getting tangled up, and looks like he did hold Walls, who picked up a yellow in the first half. Charles Boateng netted 4 goals to lead all scorers in the first round of the 2019 Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. He's got a ton of potential out of Ghana. Looking for that breakout performance for Richmond. CC gets away in the box. Sione. Played well by Richmond. And now they clear. Kicker is trying to work the counter. Backline in position for Chattanooga. Now Walefi. Well done by, I want to say that might have been Akwe to get a foot on it. Red Wolf still with it. And taken away. And here comes Richmond. Wape works on CC. Both teams trying to work the officials now. Been a physical matchup and fun to watch. Chattanooga leading 1-0 off an early goal from Stephen Beatty. Red Wolves trying to work their way up in the standings. They could get into a tie for third place with a win and a couple losses from a few other teams in the USL League One. Right now they're tied for fourth with Toronto FC. Lansing Ignite FC has 18 points. Or they have 20 rather. Chattanooga's got 18. As there's a sub for Richmond, the player we've been waiting for, Dennis Chin. Number 15, speedy midfielder. Coach Bulow holding him back. Chin coming off the bench for just the third time this season. Very recognizable for his eccentric hairstyle. A 6'1" lean midfielder from Jamaica. A clear from Fitzgerald, dangerous clear. I think he may have miskicked it a bit. The highlights from Akira Fitzgerald this year, we had a chance to watch them on YouTube. So impressive. His athleticism between the posts is second to none in this league. A little bit shorter than his counterpart, Mangles. Fitzgerald 5'11", Mangles 6'4", but Fitzgerald, incredible leaping ability. His anticipation is spot on all the time. Kind of a tough luck goal in that first half. Stephen Beatty scoring it for Chattanooga. Beatty, the league leader, rather he's second in the league, the team leader, with 7 goals for Chattanooga. He has one today. Joe Gallardo, the leading goal scorer for Richmond, has been close a couple times. This one's over the top. Rodriguez up the field to Gallardo. The defense has been on him, along with Mowape. Whenever those two touch it, they're met by at least 2 or 3 Red Wolves. And here's a chance for Chattanooga. Watch out for Chin. Number 15 for Richmond. He's trying to break out. Gallardo couldn't quite corral it, and now is whistled for the foul. Nicholas Amponsa, wearing number 13, getting the start today for Chattanooga. He's played well in a rare starting opportunity. Caparelli. Back to Amponsa. The deep kick from Moulin. Fitzgerald, after Chattanooga threatens, plucks it away. Rodriguez. Richmond, a goal right now would be absolutely massive. They've been close a couple times. You know, after you don't score for a while and you play well, but you just can't get it through, it can be such a frustrating thing for any team. Jackson gives chase. Kickers never give up on the hustle. Maybe a little luck is needed right now. On the other hand, Chattanooga trying to do their best to hold on to this very slim 1-0 lead. They've had it since the 8th minute on a goal from Stephen Beatty. Mangles. High kick to midfield. Chin working against Tony Walls. As Walls will throw in kind of a fun story from Coach Hankinson. He's talked about how some of these players have started forming really good friendships with their teammates, and he says Walls has formed a nice partnership with Steve Beatty, the team's captain, and it's really helped both of those players step up their play for Chattanooga. As that's kicked out. Red Wolves have been aggressive, and sometimes you'll see teams when they build that lead or they get a 1-0 lead, they'll try to play passive in the second half. But Chattanooga has really tried to push the tempo. Pineda. He broke the ice with a goal last time these teams played. Beatty tells his teammate, Pineda, nice pass, I wasn't ready for it.
Substitution for the Kickers. Coming in the game is number 7, Josh Hughes.
Josh Hughes in for the Kickers. He's a regular starter, skilled passing midfielder. He scored his first professional goal in May against North Texas, so a good goal scorer. You got Hughes out there who can put it through. Dennis Chin with fresh legs out there. So Coach Bulow is thinking, get some of his top goal scorers out there when they're at their freshest and see if he can break through. Here's one of them. It's Chin. Chin across. Chattanooga was waiting for it. No corner kick. Hughes picks it off though. And this one will be a corner. It was actually Lockerbie who intercepted it. And now Rodriguez, the corner. Very speedy lineup there for Richmond. Rodriguez, in his humid Chattanooga night. He's played the entire matchup, catches his breath, and gets ready. Nice cross. Red Wolves waiting for it. Jackson battles in the box. And a foul on Daniel Jackson for Richmond. Bengals in Richmond, rather Bengals in Chattanooga, trying to take their 3rd straight win and their 5th in their past 6 matches. It could bump them up to 3rd, depending what everybody else does. Richmond and their road white seeking revenge after losing at home to Chattanooga 2 weeks ago. It was the Kickers who won this first matchup back in May. So these two teams head-to-head, tied 1 apiece. They'll play each other one more time later on this year. And another sub coming up. This one is for the Red Wolves.
Out of the game now, number 15, Yaya Cece.
Cece comes out.
On this game, number 8, Josue Soto.
And Josue Soto. He is in 2 assists this season for the electrifying passer for Chattanooga. And these two teams play each other on September 28th. So they're front-loaded. They played their first time on April 27th, so April, not May. They played their second matchup on June 15th, now on the 29th, and then a couple months off from each other. And then right here at David Stanton Field on September 28th. Here's a chance. Fitzgerald waiting for it. Richmond, that's a nice pass up the field. Jackson with it. He had Gallardo if he could have pulled it in. Nobody home on the sideline. Stephen Beatty's early goal is the difference. Both these teams have really been strong defensively today. Not a ton of opportunities. This might be one. A quick kick, and it's wide left. Gallardo was looking for the push. I like the strategy, though, from Richmond. Their thought is, let's get a couple quick strikes towards the goal just to keep Mangles active. Sometimes quantity over quality is the best bet. Trying to get the ball to midfield to Joshua Hughes, who just checked in. So Hughes and Dennis Chin are the fresh legs out there for Richmond. And then on the other end, Josue Soto just subbed in for Chattanooga. It was a sub that scored the second goal when these two teams met 2 weeks ago. Yaya Sisi scored it in bonus time. Rather, I mean, Cito Sione was the one that scored. Sisi, though, was in, taking a pass that led to the goal. Gallardo almost picking it off. Jackson battling with it. He wins it. Now Chin. He's looking for Gallardo. Instead goes midfield Rodriguez. Reverse Troyer. A little push, no call. Rodriguez. Mawape. He drags that foot against wall. Those two have been fun to watch today. Mawape. Well, left feet breathing down his neck. About 20 minutes left for Richmond to try to even this. Here's a chance. Mawape. Mawape. Showing off the footwork. Here's a shot, and waiting for it was the defender. A good look from Rodriguez. And Nicholas Amponsa was able to knock it out of play. Nice little setup there from Mawape. He got past Caparelli. And just a little chip shot from Rodriguez. And making the start today, Amponsa knocked it out of play. A corner here for Richmond. They're fourth in this second half. Could this be the one to even it? Gallardo. Troyer. Fumbles it a bit. Up in the air. Chin. Akwe. The cross. And played out by Caparelli. Richmond going to take another crack at it. That gets past Gallardo and intercepted by Chattanooga. Soto. Good through pass. No offsides call. That one goes off the post, and now I think they're saying it was offsides. I didn't see it at first. It seemed obvious. But the official came in late.
Substitution for the Red Wolves.
So an offsides call.
Cito Sione, number 11. In the game now, number 12, Amon Zayed.
Amon Zayed will come in. Yeah, not the most emphatic call from the official. Maybe he thought it was so obvious that it didn't warrant a loud whistle. Either way, Amon Zayed's coming in, the 35-year-old player from Dublin, Ireland. We didn't see him last time Chattanooga took on Richmond. He's their second best goal scorer. 4 goals this season. One player we weren't sure if we would see today. So we got a couple top-notch goal scorers that are entering over the past 10-15 minutes that are playing with fresh legs for both these teams, adding to the intrigue as we approach these 20 minutes or so. There's some contact. And Mwape, who's been bumped and nicked throughout this match, gives a nice 5 to Jonathan Caparelli. Incredible thing about soccer really is, I think it's something that we've just grown accustomed to. You got Caparelli from Buenos Aires, Argentina, and Utaya Mwape from Lusaka, Zambia, two very different cultures. Beautiful areas, though, coming together here in Chattanooga, Tennessee to play this beautiful sport called soccer. Here's Chin. The electrifying Chin crossing over. Gallardo. Unable to save it was Mwape. Looking for the latest USL League One news and content, you can follow at USL League One on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for exclusive access and updates. I know they did a great job, the USL League One Twitter account did, tweeting out that goal from Stephen Beattie earlier. So if you're late, you missed it, you can check out the USL League One Twitter account. They got it right there for you. Stephen Beattie putting Chattanooga up 1-0 early in this match, and that's been the difference. There's some contact. As Beattie hit the turf, Mwape helps him up. Much respect for those two players they have for each other. Beattie scored earlier, nice smile on his face. Forearm covered in turf. What a couple weeks he's had, Stephen Beattie. 4 goals in the team's past 2 matches, not even yet. Some footwork from Zayed. Walefi. Soto. Pineda. Off of Caparelli. Walefi. Pineda not on the same page. Intercepted by Troyer. Dangerous pass there. Now Richmond. A little pace. It's Chin. Gallardo going back to Chin. This could be something here. Jackson in the box. He's already got a goal this year. No hand call. Looked like it was off maybe the shoulder of Jackson. Rodriguez looking across. Trying to find Chin. It goes out of play. And it'll be a corner kick, number 5 for Richmond in this half. Joe Gallardo came up in the U17, U18 Academy team. The Chattanooga system. Eyes of field. Looking for his teammate. Can he find him? Up in the air. Mangles using all 6'4" to pull that one in. That's where that height plays to his advantage. He can be aggressive and get away with it. And that was up there looking for Akwe. Been plenty of action, both teams having opportunities. Been a physical match. The 3rd time these squads have played. They'll play once more in September. Good sportsmanship both ways. Been enjoyable to watch. Now Richmond is trying to score. They've been solid defensively this year. It's been getting it into the back of the net. That's been where they've struggled. They're looking for their first goal since late May. Their first win since mid-May. There's still time. They've had chances. Chattanooga's back line has been really tough to crack. Troyer, good hustle to run that one down. And now Akira Fitzgerald will play it out. Soto almost picked it off. As the Red Wolves trying to move to 5-2-0 on the year at home. They're in the middle of a 3-game homestand. Richmond will return home for 2. That's the good news. The bad news is one of those matchups, their first one next week, is against North Texas, the team with the best record in the league. A challenging set here for Richmond. They will go back to City Stadium, though. Chattanooga playing with a lot of momentum. They have won 4 of their last 5. They've not lost in a number of weeks. Maybe the hottest team in League One. There's some contact, no call. Now the official does say it is a foul. As Pineda, or rather Connor Doyle, hit the turf. Here's Caparelli. He's been such a big difference maker for Chattanooga since returning from a minor injury earlier this year where he missed 1 game. One of the top passers. Soto. Strong kick from Doyle. And a potential opportunity goes by the board for Amon Zayed. A beautiful kick from Connor Doyle. Nice spin up in the air. And Zayed never had a chance as Ivan Magales played it perfectly with the header. Pineda in his 2 assists. 92.5% passing rating against Greenville SC last year. Just plays it in conservatively. Up in the air. Beatty to Soto. Soto's got some space, a little pocket to work with. They're almost daring him to shoot. Soto tried to pass it back to Pineda. Nice feed up the field, a dangerous opportunity. Cleared up in the air by Ampansa. Ten minutes left. Richmond trying to even it up. Bawape. And nobody home as he was hoping. I think Troyer would go down towards the box. Gallardo and Mangles meet up there. Stephen Beatty's early goal put Chattanooga up 1-0. Fans, the USL unveiled its elite youth platform, USL Academy. This allows clubs at all levels across the USL to develop its local youth and compete at the highest level across the United States, including the USL Academy Cup. For more information, visit uslsoccer.com/academy. A couple players on this field right now have spent some time in the academy. Not that one in particular, but so valuable for these young players that have been grown up playing against each other. As the USL expands, some top-notch coaches train the elite talent at the youth level at these academies. Jackson misplaced it off the right foot. Either that or you're just looking to tap it to a teammate on the sideline. Breyer with it. Rather a Troyer. And a Foul is called, and there's a little extra shoving afterwards. That's Rodriguez standing up for his teammate. Mwape went down, as he's been in the middle of the physicality tonight. Mwape, such an aggressive player. He tried to cross, and he got tripped up by Ulefi. So Rodriguez to kick. Now you start counting in your head, how many more opportunities will Richmond have? Maybe one every 90 seconds, once a minute. Getting a decent chance to score, maybe 7 or 8 more, we'll see. That's one right there. And on the counter, here comes Chattanooga. That pass was past the touchline. Looks like Troyer may have nicked it though, as Soto will chuck it in. Chattanooga about 10 minutes away from potentially going to 4, or rather 5-2-0 at home this year. Potentially picking up their 3rd straight win. Richmond trying to have a say in that. They're looking for their 2nd road win. I think they would settle for their 2nd road draw. Ball back to Fitzgerald. Bit of a risky pass. On the spot, midfield. Chin's been bottled up since he came in. Now Rodriguez. Braden Troyer on the sideline. Chin the pass. Here's a chance. Some space, Rodriguez. He has Jackson. Goes cross field and knocked out of play by Tony Wall. Who's up? Who's down? Where does your club sit? Find out every Monday in the official USL League One Power Rankings, only on USL League1.com. Chattanooga's been flying up those power rankings. Richmond trying to do the same. Gallardo, nice pass, middle of the field. Back line waiting for it. Walefe misplayed it though. Mwape with it. Mwape. Rodriguez. High over the top, past everyone. 5 minutes left in regulation. We'll see about bonus time. Stephen Beattie, the captain for Chattanooga. The early goal, it stood so far, his 7th this year. He's tied for 2nd in the USL League One. He has his team up 1-0. Will it stand? Mangles taking his time. The clock is his friend. And contact in midfield. Walefe went down. And a yellow card issued to Ivan Megales. I want to say that's number 3 in this half. On Richmond, it might be their 4th. That's the first on Megales.
Yellow card is brought to you by Peppermint White and Garvey Eye Care.
Both looked like they were going for the ball there. Walefe had his foot stepped on though. Kick from midfield coming up. Walefe looks okay. As Megales picks up the yellow card. 6'1", lengthy defensive player from Brazil. Great at clearing the ball. Spent last year with the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Chattanooga taking their time, milking this clock, doing everything they can to try to preserve this 1-0 lead on a surprising goal by Stephen Beattie. It wasn't his normal fancy footwork leading to a beautiful right-footed booming kick. He got tangled up with the defender and was able to somehow get it in past Akira Fitzgerald. Here's Beattie, crossing across the field. Soto with it. As he sends it back to Beatty. And that goes over the top. That's probably the best look Chattanooga's had in this second half. As Beatty had it first, got past that line of defense. Beautiful sliding crossing pass. Soto ran it down. And then Beatty looking for his 5th goal in 2 matches. Just a bit long on that header. We talked about in the open, Stephen Beatty. He's the difference today. The leading goal scorer for Richmond, Joe Gallardo's been solid. Neither keeper's been tested too much today. Unlike 2 weeks ago when it was an expedition between the pipes. Here's Chin, trying to break out. Jackson. I think if Jackson plays that, he might be able to find Chin on the give and go. On the other end, off to the races. Syed with it. He works on Akwe. Syed trying to cross over. Looking up the middle to Pineda. Still breathing is Richmond. They've dodged a couple bullets. Now let's see if they can strike on their own. On the other end, Gallardo. It looks like he'll throw in. We'll see how much bonus time we get. Richmond trying for a late goal, as it was last touched by Gallardo. Sounds like we might get 4 minutes of stoppage time. Ball goes right out in front of Coach Hankinson, Tim Hankinson, the first coach for Chattanooga. Team could pick up their 3rd straight victory today. They can just hold on here. The 3 points are theirs. It is 4 minutes.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the 4th official has now indicated there will be a minimum of 4 minutes of additional stoppage
Richmond,
time here in the second half.
a chance here. Both these teams' fatigue starting to show on this hot, muggy night in Chattanooga. Been a physical match. Been entertaining. Big kick with the left foot is just wide from Syed. As he gets the crowd to their feet. Ahmad Syed about maybe a foot left of his 5th goal this season. Quickly, Richmond trying to respond. Jackson racing up the field. Jackson going to work on Pineda. Jackson beats him. Jackson lacrosse. Couldn't quite get it through. Troyer back in the box. Just a bit wide as Jackson was looking for it. Daniel Jackson's had a few chances. Here's a look at that last one from Zayed. Just pulled it down and took a big strike at it. Just missing wide left. Alexander Mangels. What a year he's had. 2nd in the league with 42 saves. Fitzgerald is right up there. Looking for his 5th clean sheet. Now Walls, who picked up that early yellow. He's played some smart soccer since. Still in the match. Knocked out a play that is, it looked like last touch by Chin as Beatty went for it. His early goal is the difference. Chattanooga trying to move to 6-4-3. Richmond hoping for their 4th win, or at the very least a draw here. They got a few more opportunities, you think, as Troyer up the field to Gallardo. Gallardo bumped off the ball. It looked like it was last touch maybe by Ponsa as he went for it, and it will be a corner. Corner kick number 6 for Richmond this half. This might be their last best shot to even the match. One more moment of drama. Can Richmond tie it here? The corner is up, far side, over everybody. Rodriguez gives chase. Rodriguez to the middle of the box, and it's over the top. Both teams say the opponent touched it last. It's going to be Mangles to kick. A sub here for Chattanooga. Pineda will come out. Then goes Aguero. A regular starter, great passer, getting a breather this week. Aguero is in. And a big hand for Amir T. Pineda as he'll check out. Coach Hankinson pointing to his watch, telling him to note the time, and of course this may be a strategic move by Chattanooga just to milk this clock a little more. Mangles will kick. We'll see if Richmond even gets another opportunity. To midfield, it's up. Goes out of play, will be Richmond's possession. This will likely be their last chance. Crowd anticipating the victory. Richmond looking for a mini miracle here. Fitzgerald a strong kick. Walls is waiting for it. Rodriguez. Now Troyer keeps it on Richmond's side. Up the field, over the top. Mawape trying to keep it in play, he does. The shot, Mangles comes out, it's cleared. Goes out of play, Troyer to throw in. Troyer, the kick to Chin. Chin racing for it with Soto. Soto clears, and that's gonna do it. Chattanooga holds on 1-0 after an early goal from Stephen Beattie, number 7 for him this year. The Red Wolves protect the home field and move to 6-4-3 this season. The Kickers fall to 3-8-3, a physical matchup. Both these teams, massive respect for each other. Their 3rd matchup this year, and the Red Wolves have now won 2 of 3. Stephen Beattie is a hero with that early goal. We'll take a break and come back with the postgame show. Again, the final, Chattanooga 1, Richmond 0. A 1-0 victory for Chattanooga over Richmond. The Red Wolves got an early goal from the captain, Steve Beatty, and he is our man of the match tonight. What a performance from him. The early goal, his 7th of the year. And the man of the match is presented by Transcard Global FinTech Platform. And Beatty, it was kind of a surprising goal. There was some contact in the box, and he was just able to get it through. Stephen Beatty, goal number 7 this year off a nice crossing pass from Cito Sione, and Beatty got it through. That ended up being the difference in this one, was an early goal from Stephen Beatty. Let's go ahead and look at the highlights. Just because there was one goal doesn't mean there wasn't action. Plenty of action in this one. Two teams that are very familiar with each other. It was a physical play. The referees were very busy throughout this one, and that is what you like to see in a late June hot muggy night here in Chattanooga. First though, the goal. Richmond was hoping for an offsides call. It did not appear to be one, and then Akira Fitzgerald thought potentially maybe Beatty got his hand on it. Looking at the replay though, he did not. Just a big physical goal from Stephen Beatty off the assist from Cito Sione, and that put his team up 1-0 early. It was the 4th goal in the past 2 matches for the captain from Dublin, Ireland. An opportunity there for Chattanooga. They had a few chances. That one from Beatty went off the left post. That would have been a spectacular goal. Fitzgerald makes things so tough between the pipes. He covers so much space. There were some chances for Richmond in that first half. Here is one of them. A nice crossing pass, setting up Alexander Ainskoff. Good strong kick there, just a bit high. This was probably the best chance. A ball to the leading goal scorer, Joe Gallardo. Just missed his left foot off a gorgeous feed from Mwape. That could have evened it up 1-1. Instead, we go to halftime 1-0. Richmond, give them credit. They played an aggressive match. They came out strong in the second half. They had some chances early. Mwape, look at that footwork. He's such a fun player to watch. That was an opportunity, but an even better defensive play from that back line for Chattanooga. Looking at some stats, the Red Wolves win 1-0. They had 10 shots compared to the Kickers' 6. Richmond, and they had some opportunities, could not get a shot on target though, even though they had possession 60% of the time. So give credit to that back line for Chattanooga. They were the unsung heroes tonight. An aggressive match, 7 yellow cards in total. Richmond picked up 4 in the second half as they tried to mount a comeback, and a couple offsides calls against Chattanooga. A really enjoyable matchup between Richmond and Chattanooga. Their 3rd so far this season. They'll play one more time in September to close out the year, or at least get close to closing it out. Chattanooga 1, Richmond 0. Big thanks to you for tuning in, watching wherever you did. Big thanks to our crew. They did a fantastic job. I'm Ryan Pierce. Again, the final, Stephen Beatty gives Chattanooga the 1-0 lead early, and then they pull out the victory. The Red Wolves move up in the standings. Richmond still looking for answers. They played it tough, but just came up short today as the Red Wolves win 1-0 against the Kickers.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.